She's very kind. She loves to work in community, and I'm going to enjoy this little interview with her.
Hashtag global beauty, integral beauty. It's simply fantastic. And do you know the meaning of integral? It means holistic,
Yes.
everything, everything. So that's really a unique name. I was just thinking about it. It means the whole, not just the aesthetics, but the holistic care of women. So well done. Just to say a bit about myself, first and foremost, I'm a human being, and then especially I'm a woman, and importantly I'm a humanitarian, a global goodwill ambassador. So I'm very committed to community. I was born in Edo State in Nigeria, but I become a British Nigerian because I relocated to the United Kingdom. And professionally, my background is medicine, but specifically OBGYN, that's obstetrics and gynecology. And in that specialty, we look at after all the women and the female organs. So the pregnant women and the non-pregnant women, and whether or not people identify as women, as far as they have female organs, we look after them holistically, integrally. We look after them in a way that it reflects their own external health and their inner beauty as well. And apart from looking after these women over time, because I love community work, I've gone on to become a social entrepreneur. I'm an author, and I'm a postdoctoral student doing my PhD in law and criminology. And I'm especially looking at trafficked women as well as the gynecological effects and the long-term or short-term gynecological effects. So we must make our world a better place, and we must do it together. It must become a more beautiful place, not just the way our own faces look, but our holistic health and how, because if you are beautiful inside, it radiates in what you do, in how you interact with other teams to get things done. So in a nutshell, that's myself. And my book is called My Father's Daughter, and the other one, Heart Webs. It's on Amazon worldwide as well. So a lot of things I come to do now.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. I'm so happy to have the opportunity to connect with you because, as you told before, you believe in community. And definitely, when we think and work in community, we have the possibility to share everything that we learn every day. So I want to thank everyone who are listening this interview. Enjoy our conversation today. And remember, for all the new followers who don't know me, I'm Idalis Bailey. I'm a leader in global integral beauty and also nurse and MBA in marketing, and also I have a medical spa in New York. Also author of the book bestseller Global Leader in Integral Beauty too is in Amazon. But our big purpose in this platform is work together with all the professionals in health, wellness, and aesthetics. It's just building this new concept where we can bright all together. If we work as a team, if we work as a multidisciplinary team in profession, in health, wellness, and aesthetic, we can grow all together. And that's the idea. Always to find the best benefit for our patient. That's why we are working. This is a small community, it's more focused in quality than quantity. And everyone who want to be part of this community, we are open for you. So you can send information through our social media, through the text, through email, and we are open to work with everyone who really are interested to work with us in this way. For today, because we know that the doctor don't have too much time, I want to be focused and know a little bit about her and just pay attention because she really have amazing spaces. So today we're going to share a little bit about her, and then we can continue if you have more questions through their email, through their social media, and then continue support her and refer her in the global community. I would like to know a little bit more about your career, your professional, and how was your challenge to go at this position where you are right now, doctor?
Thank you. So, becoming a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist has had its challenges, especially being one, a woman, and two, a black woman in a predominantly white community. But, like I always tell people, it is your determination and your will and the ability to turn your disadvantages into advantages. So don't sit down and play the victim mentality. If I look back, I started out in Nigeria. I did my medical school in Nigeria, University of Benin in Edo State, Nigeria to be precise. And then I moved on to the United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom, I went ahead to do a master's in public health research at the University of Edinburgh. And during that time, I looked at post-abortion complications in women. And then I moved on to also do another master's while doing my residency training in obstetrics and gynecology, where I specialized in. So I did another master's in clinical education. So I'm licensed to teach in the clinical space across Europe. But I specially chose simulation, medical simulation. So aesthetics, wellness, well-being, we need to train other people, be it in the big hospitals, be it in the small surgeries or in the day surgeries where you do aesthetic work or you do big surgeries. You need to train others. And I'm very keen on training other people properly, because if you train the next generation properly, they train the next generation and you carry on the community work. It's like exploding yourself. So I actually sat down and thought, oh, a lot of women are trafficked and they have gynecological issues, they have well-being issues, and I've always worked in teams with people. So I've never really worked alone to get the best results. We work with midwives, nurses, anesthetists, aesthetics. We work with even the police sometimes. In cases of rape or domestic violence, we bring them in. Sometimes we have to work with physiotherapists and bodybuilders all across the pediatricians across board. So I decided that, okay, I need to now look at trafficked women in our communities. Again, communities. And this is why what you do, Idalis, especially with Global Beauty, is top notch. Thumbs up to you, because it's back to the community. What happens to these women when they've been trafficked in the community? Sometimes some of them come down with infertility from years of being exposed to sexually transmitted infections. Sometimes some of them suffer trauma to their faces and they need plastic work to repair them. They need aesthetics. Sometimes a lot of them suffer psychological damage. They need to be built up, empowered. They need to have their self-esteem back. So you find out over time, in my experience, that in everything I have done, I'm at the center working with people with a genuine heart to bring about change. So in a nutshell, I've not just jumped from point A to point B. I've walked through the mills to become a consultant in obstetrics and gynecology. And I actually went around about 13 units, 13 hospitals in the United Kingdom. That's where I trained, rotating from one to the other. So this has bestowed on me a wealth of experience. But how did I get this experience? From working with others, from wanting to learn. I tell people, the day I stop learning is the day I die. I have a lot to learn from everybody along the way. so that we can all give back to humanity in our communities, in what we do, in aesthetics and well-being, in growing ourselves. So in a
Definitely.
nutshell, that's my career pathway.
Thank you very much. I'm really proud of you, and that's why from the first day when I invite you, because we did very short research about you, and definitely we was very happy with all the work that you are doing, and that's why we invite you to be part of this global community. Because if we don't believe in that we have to work together, because in different way we need to be connected, because everyone as a professional thinking, okay, I'm going to be professional, I don't care about the rest, I'm going to work with my office. No, you're never going to grow the same when you really work with all professional. You learn from each one, and you cannot pretend to do everything. You can refer your patient for the other professional according to the patient needs. So that's why it's very important the part that you are doing as a professional, as a gynecology. I would like to know how often should a woman have to visit the gynecology to do the checkup?
Oh, thank you for this question, Idalis. This actually varies. It varies from country to country,
Mm-hmm.
and it varies across age range. So if we're gonna work with women, we start from the girl child, from the teen years down to when we are old, in our old age. And thankfully, having worked across different countries, I can speak a lot to what happens in different countries. So in most countries, they would advocate that from the age of, I'll start with America, for instance, from the age of 21 to about 65, they want you to see your gynecologist every year, and you have the well woman visits from the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. That's what they recommend. They even say that you should start from the age of 13 in America, which is quite interesting and fascinating. But that a bit is also due to their healthcare system, which is a bit more like capitalist and insurance based, and that's understandable. Now, in the UK, we advise that you actually see your gynecologist if you, from the age of 25 in England, you should start your smear up till the age of 64. Now, from 25 to 49, you have your smear screens every 3 years. Every 3 years. And then from 50 to 64, you do that every 5 years.
Okay.
In Scotland and in Wales, it's a bit different. These are the three countries that make up the United Kingdom. You have England, Scotland, and Wales. In Scotland and Wales, they start the smear screening, for instance, from 20 years. And only last year, Wales then changed the frequency of when women come for their routine screen. When I say routine screen, that means there's nothing wrong in the previous screen, to every 5 years for cervical screening.
Okay.
So if, and in the UK as well, across board, once you cross the age of 40, they will send for you. They'll send for you to come and do your physical check, weight, height, blood pressure, and depending on your history, some bloods. And then they'll ask you, have you done a well woman check? And they'll do that for you as well. Now, in a place like Nigeria, and I'm really pleased, this is a global integral beauty talk, isn't it? Holistic health and well-being, especially for women. In Nigeria, there are no formal government programs for screening from the center, but it's advised that you see your gynecologist at least every 3 years for the pap smear or cervical cancer screen from the age of 21 to around about 65, or when women become sexually active. Now, I want to point out something with this opportunity before I elaborate again. There is what you now call the cervical cancer screen that works with HPV, human papilloma virus. So that is what we now really check for. And if you do 3 consecutive tests, even in America, they are clear of HPV, they can now sometimes increase your visits, the interval of your visiting the well woman clinics. However, if there is a problem with the HPV, then it can be yearly, or if there are abnormal cells, then you have to go for further gynecological checkup. So to summarize, I would advise all of us out there, women, that an annual visit to your gynecologist is important, especially in the early years, because when you go, we'll do a few things. We'll do your general body check, and then we'll do a gynecological exam or a pelvic exam. For women that are not yet sexually active, we don't just jump to go and start doing the pelvic exam. So to do this examination, you first of all you inspect the vulva, you inspect the area, you see how it looks. Are there any changes? Does it look dry? Are there any sores? Do these women need STI or STD checks, especially in the early years when people are young and adventurous from the ages of 20 to sort of 35-ish? Do they need all of that? Are there unusual discharge? If a woman is still a virgin and has not had sex, you can't just start doing a pelvic examination. But if she's had sex before and is not a virgin, then you can go on and do what we call the speculum check to look at the vagina. It can be the Costco speculum or the same speculum, and you can take samples on swabs. If they are not yet sexually active, you can do urine tests for STIs as well. And then after the speculum look in a special position that they call the gynecological position and a special couch, then you can wear your gloves again, sterile ones, and you do a 2-finger, it's called digital bimanual examination. So from down below within the vagina, and you put your hand at the top. And when you are doing that, you are feeling for the womb, the size, you are checking if it is mobile freely, you are assessing the ovaries, are they palpable, you are checking for tenderness, and women come in to you with different problems. So women, every year, try and see your gynecologist. If you are still in the reproductive years, you may have discussions around contraceptives. They may have to check your IUD or your copper or marina, depending on the one, and have a holistic check. And anytime you see a gynecologist.
So that's why I invite you, and thank you very much for your participation, for your time, for your cooperation with this global integral beauty community. I really enjoyed this amazing interview with you. I hope that everyone who are listening today this interview, you can enjoy too. You can follow us through our platform, Global Integral Beauty, in Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And also, any question that you want, you can send an email or text through our platform. Thank you very much for all people who follow up, and have a nice, wonderful day.